3, 2, 1, 0.
And we have liftoff of Vikram 1, India's first private orbital launch vehicle. And we have great views.
What if launching a satellite became as simple as booking a cab? That may sound like science fiction today, but for one Indian startup, that's exactly the future it wants to build.
We are opening space for all.
आज की इस ऐतिहासिक उड़ान में हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए आपका हार्दिक धन्यवाद। विक्रम 1 ने सफलतापूर्वक सारे उपग्रहों को कक्षा में पहुंचा दिया है।
On July 18, India's Skyroot Aerospace launched Vikram 1 from ISRO's Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota.
ले लिया है एक ब्रह्मास्त्र की तरह।
That's very true, Sriyash Akhil. I am awestruck at the sheer power that stage one is producing.
The 7-story rocket lifted off and in just over 15 minutes placed its payloads into a 450-kilometer low Earth orbit. The mission was called Agaman, which means arrival in Sanskrit.
We have sun rising behind it. It is the dawn of a new space era.
With this launch, India became only the third country in the world after the United States and China where a private company can send a rocket into orbit on its own.
सफलतापूर्वक सारे उपग्रहों को कक्षा में पहुंचा दिया है और भारत के अंतरिक्ष सफर में एक नया उज्जवल अध्याय खोल दिया है।
I am privileged to formally announce that the first ever Indian private sector launch has been successfully completed.
So what makes Vikram 1 so unique? For decades, only the government built and launched rockets in India. That changed in 2020 when India opened up its space sector to private companies with a new regulator called InSpace overseeing the shift. Since then, more than 400 space startups have come up in the country. Skyroot, founded in 2018 by a group of former ISRO engineers, is one of the leading names among them. Earlier this year, it became India's first space tech company to cross $1 billion valuation. Skyroot's bigger goal is what it calls a cab service to space. Right now, smaller satellites often have to share a ride on large rockets and wait for a launch window that suits someone else's schedule. Skyroot wants to change that. Customers should be able to book a dedicated launch and get the satellite into the exact orbit they need on their own timeline. Vikram 1 is named after Vikram Sarabhai, the father of India's space program. Standing about 22 meters tall, it can carry payloads of up to 350 kilograms. It uses 3 solid fuel stages plus a liquid fuel module for orbital adjustments, and that module runs on a 3D printed engine. That's worth explaining because it's a real shift in how rockets get built. Traditionally, rocket engines are forged, machined and welded together from dozens of separate parts. 3D printing changes that. A laser fuses metal powder layer by layer, building the part as a single piece. Fewer bolts, fewer seals, fewer joints, and joints are usually where conventional engines leak or fail. When Skyroot test-fired its Raman engine back in 2020, the company said the fully printed injector cut the engine's mass in half and reduced components and lead time by 80% compared to conventional manufacturing. Vikram 1 also was not Skyroot's first attempt at proving itself. In 2022, its Vikram S rocket became the first privately developed Indian rocket to reach space on a suborbital flight.
The launch and the spin stabilized rocket. The views from the launcher camera. In a few
Vikram 1 has now taken that a step further, reaching orbit on its very first try. That's rare. Most companies elsewhere in the world need several attempts before their rocket makes it to orbit. Skyroot's co-founder Naga Bharat Daka put it this way.
India has become the third country where a private with a private orbital class launch vehicle capability with this success, and one of the very few one of the rarest moments where a private sector developed orbital rocket has been succeeded in its very first attempt. And this is a moment of great pride, not just for Skyroot and of all of India.
The rocket carried 6 payloads. Some were practical: an engine observation camera, a robotic arm designed to clear space debris, and a satellite from a German company. 2 were symbolic: a lotus made from lab-grown diamonds and a tiny gold rocket smaller than a grain of rice carrying micro-sculptures of Vikram Sarabhai, physicist C.V. Raman and former President and aerospace engineer Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Now let's listen to Skyroot's CEO Pavan Kumar Chandana.
I think this is a historic moment, not just for Skyroot, for India and also entire global space sector. In the first attempt reaching orbit, I never thought it was possible, and Skyroot team made it possible. Big shout out to this phenomenal team which made it happen. And in fact, this launch was nothing short of a suspense movie.
India's space economy is currently valued at around $8 billion, and the government wants to grow it to $44 billion by 2033 and $100 billion by 2040. Alongside Skyroot, companies like Pixel, Bellatrix Aerospace and Agnikul Cosmos are building satellites and propulsion systems of their own. In 2023, India became the 4th country to land a spacecraft on the moon and the first to reach the moon's south polar region. It's running a solar mission, Aditya L1, to study the sun, has a Venus orbiter planned for 2028, and is preparing to send its own astronauts into space under the Gaganyaan mission. Vikram 1's success matters because it shows India is not relying only on its government space agency anymore. A private Indian company built a rocket, launched it, and reached orbit on the first try. So, from launching satellites for the world to building an ecosystem where private companies can compete globally, India's space journey is entering a new phase. That's all in this edition of Connecting the Dots. We'll see you next week with more raging issues. Until then, it's a goodbye from all of us in the Delhi newsroom. This is Munmun Bhattacharya signing off. Take care and stay safe.